The Superdome is feeling a different kind of energy today because the New Orleans Saints have finally closed the door on the Drew Brees and Sean Payton era. It hurts to see legendary names like Cam Jordan and Demario Davis leave, but the front office is betting everything on a bold youth movement. As an insider following every practice, I can tell you the vibe is shifting rapidly. Before we dive into how this roster shakeup changes everything, make sure to subscribe and join our loyal Saints community right now. Tua Tagovailoa is the new face of the division rivals in Atlanta, and that single move has forced everyone in the NFC South to rethink their strategy for the upcoming season. While the Falcons are gambling on a veteran quarterback to save their franchise, our New Orleans Saints are taking a completely different path under the leadership of Mickey Loomis. We are finally seeing the total teardown and rebuild that many fans have been calling for since the middle of the decade. The departure of Cameron Jordan and Demario Davis marks the end of a defensive identity that defined this team for years. It is a massive shift to see legends like Taysom Hill and Alontae Taylor heading out the door, but it was a necessary step to create space for a new core. Loomis is going all in on second-year quarterback Tyler Show, who proved during his rookie campaign that he has the arm talent to lead this offense into the future. To support him, the team brought in an impressive haul of talent, including wide receiver Jordan Tyson and corner Martin Emerson Jr. The coaching staff is also excited about adding David Edwards to the line and Caden Ellis to the linebacker group. However, the move that has sparked the most conversation among fans and analysts alike is the signing of Travis Etienne Jr. This addition is fascinating because it directly impacts the role of Alvin Kamara, the last true superstar left from the Brees era. Even Todd Bowles in Tampa Bay is paying close attention to how Kellen Moore integrates these new pieces into the playbook. Bowles knows that a younger, faster Saints team is a much more dangerous threat than the veteran-heavy rosters we have fielded lately. The defense is also getting a makeover with Tyree Wilson, arriving via trade and second-round pick Kristen Miller joining the interior. We are looking at a roster that has been almost entirely transformed in a single offseason. The goal is clear: get younger, get faster, and stop living in the past. It is a brave strategy that puts a lot of pressure on the new coaching staff to develop these players quickly. We are moving away from the safety of familiar names to the excitement of unknown. The logic behind the recent backfield addition becomes much clearer when you analyze the vision that Kellen Moore has for this modern offense. While it might be painful to think about our longtime star seeing fewer touches, the reality is that the NFL has become a league of explosive rotations. This new arrival brings a specific type of game-breaking speed that has been missing from the rotation lately. He is a player who can turn a simple screen pass into a touchdown in the blink of an eye, and that kind of verticality is exactly what a young quarterback needs to succeed. By pairing this speedster with the existing talent in the wide receiver room, the Saints are creating an environment where defenders cannot simply stack the box. If they try to stop the run, the rookie wideout will beat them deep. If they play back to prevent the long ball, the backfield will carve them up in the short passing game. It is a pick-your-poison scenario that should make the Superdome a very loud and happy place this fall. We have to remember that the previous offensive system was built around a very specific type of quarterback play that just does not exist here anymore. The current signal caller needs weapons who can create yards after the catch, and the front office has provided exactly that. This transition is not just about changing names on the jersey, it is about changing the math of the game. The coaching staff wants to push the tempo and force opponents to defend every blade of grass. When you have multiple threats who can all score from anywhere on the field, it simplifies the decision-making process for a developing leader under center. The locker room is already feeling the benefits of this new energy, as the younger players are stepping up to take ownership of the team's culture. We are seeing a shift where the hunger of these prospects is starting to outweigh the comfort of the veterans. It is a necessary evolution for a team that has been stuck in neutral for far too long. The focus is now on creating mismatches and using speed as a primary weapon, which is a significant departure from the style of the past. This is real. This overhaul matters because it represents the first time in years that the Saints have a clear, long-term direction, instead of just trying to patch holes in a sinking ship. The NFC South is a wide-open race, and the team that adapts fastest to the modern game is going to walk away with the division title. By earning a high grade for their offseason moves, the front office has shown they are serious about competing right now, while also building for the next 5 seasons. The impact of these changes will be felt immediately on the scoreboard because this team is finally built to win high-scoring games. We are no longer relying on a perfect defensive performance to scrape by with a 14-10 victory. Instead, we have the tools to put up 30 points on any given Sunday. This changes the entire dynamic of the season because it gives the team a much larger margin for error. Even if the defense has a bad day, the offense has the firepower to bail them out. This is a massive relief for a fan base that has watched the team struggle to move the ball effectively for several years. The consequence of these moves is a team that is significantly more versatile and harder to prepare for. Opposing coaches can no longer just look at old film and know what to expect from New Orleans. We have a new play caller, a new quarterback, and a new group of playmakers who are all eager to prove themselves. This creates a sense of unpredictability that can be a major advantage in a division where everyone knows each other's secrets. The season impact could be profound, as a fast start would give this young group the confidence they need to run away with the South. We are seeing a franchise that has finally stopped mourning its past glory and started working toward a new peak. The risk of keeping the old roster together was that we would continue to be mediocre until the cap situation eventually forced a collapse. By being proactive and making these tough decisions, let us talk about the two paths this season could take, because the tension in New Orleans is reaching a boiling point. If this plan works perfectly, we are looking at the greatest turnaround in the history of the NFC South. The young quarterback becomes a star, the new wide receiver breaks records, and the backfield duo becomes the most productive in football. In this scenario, the Saints are not just division champions. They are a legitimate threat to win the conference. The stadium will be rocking, the city will be electric, and the youth movement will be seen as the blueprint for every other team in the league. It would be a dream come true for a fan base that has been patient through the transition. But there is a darker path we must consider as well. If the young offensive line cannot protect the quarterback, all that talent on the outside will be wasted. If the defense cannot find a way to replace the leadership of the departing veterans, we could see a unit that plays hard but makes too many mental mistakes at critical moments. The tension comes from the fact that there is no middle ground this year. We are either going to be great or we are going to struggle immensely as these players learn on the job. Short sentences often capture the feeling in the building right now. The stakes are high. The pressure is real. Every mistake will be magnified under the bright lights of the Superdome. We are betting the entire future of the franchise on the idea that these young men are ready for the big stage. If they fail, the critics will be loud, and the calls for a change in management will begin. But if they succeed, the reward will be a new dynasty that could rival anything we saw during the Peyton years. The contrast between these two outcomes is what makes this season so compelling for every Saints fan. We are standing at a crossroads, and the next few months will determine the direction of this team for a long time. The excitement is tempered by fear. We wait. To wrap this all up, the New Orleans Saints have officially entered a new era by prioritizing speed, youth, and explosive potential over the comfort of their legendary past. We have seen a massive turnover in the locker room, and the arrival of a new dynamic back has set the stage for a high-stakes competition in the backfield. The main dilemma is whether this young core is ready to handle the pressure of a wide-open division race. Be honest with me in the comments, do you think it was the right move to part ways with the veterans and put the season in the hands of these young stars? Are you worried that the lack of veteran leadership will haunt the defense during the most important games of the year? I am eager to hear your thoughts on this bold new direction for our franchise. If you enjoyed this deep dive and want to stay updated on everything happening at the facility, please hit the like